Sophia Carter never dreamed her dad's money worries would bring her to this spot. The fancy party for good causes around her turned into just background sounds as she saw him across the room. Ethan Kingsley, the toughest, most bossy guy in the big city, her dad, who used to be a well-liked business guy, had taken a lot of loans from Kingsley's company. Now broke and really worried. James Carter had no place to go. Sophia watched Ethan's smart, watching eyes look around the room until they stopped on her dad, who turned super pale. Mr. Carter, Ethan's voice cut right through all the party talk as he walked over. "I think we gotta talk about some stuff." Sophia stepped up without thinking. At 26, with her own little art shop that's having a hard time, she didn't have much to give except herself. Ethan's eyes moved to her, his face hard to read but really strong. "Maybe somewhere quiet," James said, his voice shaking a bit. They went to a hidden balcony looking out at the city lights. Ethan didn't wait. "Your last day to pay was 3 months back." "Carter, I've been waiting nicely. Please, just a bit more time." James asked like he was begging. Ethan's laugh was chilly. "Time costs money, and you've used up too much of both." Something in how he said it made Sophia stand taller. "What do you really want, Mr. Kingsley?" His eyes met hers. Smart, checking her out. Risky. And Sophia all of a sudden got that cash wasn't his only thing. Before her dad could say more, Sophia said the idea that made them both quiet. "To pay off my dad's owed money. Take me in his place." The night air got thick with worry. Ethan's face changed just a tiny bit. Surprise? Curiosity, something scarier. He reached into his coat, pulled out a pen and the paper her dad had signed. With slow moves, he crossed a line through the paper. "A deal's a deal, Miss Carter," he said, his voice getting low in a way that gave her chills. "You'll come with me tonight." The quiet was broken only by the sound of his pen writing their future. Deal. The big fancy car slid through the shiny streets of the city. Inside it was full of unsaid worry. Sophia sat as far from Ethan Kingsley as the soft seat let her, her green dress shining from the streetlights going by. She held her little bag like a guard, her hands tight from being nervous. "You don't have to look so scared." Ethan finally said something, his voice nicer than she thought. "I'm not the bad guy your dad probably said I am." "Then what do you want from me?" Sophia asked, looking right at him. The guy in front of her was really good looking. Sharp face, deep blue eyes, and dark hair with some gray that looked cool. But everyone knew he was tough. Mean. Never gives in. Cold like the tall buildings with his name. A smile came on his mouth. Just someone to hang out with for now. Sophia's forehead wrinkled. "Hang out? You could pay anyone for that." "I don't want just anyone," Ethan said, his eyes stuck on hers. "I want someone real." The car turned onto a big street, and Sophia tried not to stare out the window like a kid. Instead, she stayed calm, but her brain was full of questions and what-ifs, each one more worrying. "Your dad owes me $17 million. Ethan said like it was no big deal. "Did you know?" Sophia's heart dropped. He said it was a big amount. "Big?" Ethan repeated with a laugh that wasn't fun. "That's one way to say it. He's been dodging my calls for months. Do you know what happens to folks who try to vanish with my cash?" Sophia swallowed hard. "I guess nothing good." Ethan's face got softer out of nowhere. "But here you are, offering yourself as what? Like a backup." "As a fix," Sophia said, getting strong from being so worried. "My dad messed up, but he's not bad. He doesn't deserve to lose it all." "And you think you do?" The question stayed between them as the fancy car stopped at the King Hotel. Floors of fancy stuff where top rooms cost more per night than most folks pay for a month. Ethan led her through the special door, his hand just barely on her back. The workers nodded nicely, nobody looking him in the eye. The elevator ride was quiet, the worry growing with each floor up. Sophia watched the numbers go higher. 41, 42, she snuck a look at Ethan, who stood super still, eyes ahead. In the small space, she smelled him, fancy smell with wood and something just him. At the top floor, the doors opened right into a fancy entrance with stone and gold. Sophia stepped out carefully, feeling weird even in her nice dress, a borrowed one from a friend's shop she couldn't buy. Inside the big room, windows from floor to top showed the city like a bunch of stars. A big park was a dark shape in the middle of shiny, tall buildings. Sophia stood still, looking at all the fancy stuff around her. The real paintings on walls. Was that a real famous one? Chairs and tables that looked old and new, and a eating table set with nice plates and glasses. Want something to drink? Ethan asked, taking off his tie and jacket. It made him seem more normal, less like a big boss and more like a regular guy. I'd like some answers, Sophia said back, finding her words. Why me? You could have taken my dad's work, his house, anything. Ethan went to a cart with drinks and poured 2 glasses of water, skipping the pricey bottles. Work stuff can be gotten any time. Houses are just buildings. He gave her a glass, their fingers touching quick. Rare stuff gets me more, and what's rare about me? Sophia asked, not believing, taking a sip to hide being shaky. Ethan came close slow, stopping right near her space. Because the second I saw you protecting your little art shop from that builder last month, I knew you were special, brave, real. His eyes got nicer. With real liking, you stood in front of big machines to save local artists. Stuff. You talked deals with guys way older, without being scared. You showed more honesty and fire in that one day than most folks in their whole life. Sophia's breath stopped. You've been checking on me. Looking into... He fixed. I check all my deals, and that's what I am. A deal. Something changed in Ethan's face. A soft spot breaking his tough look. Maybe I'm the one who's put in too much. He turned away, going to the windows like he needed space. I've spent 20 years making a big company. Sophia. I've done deals for billions. I've wrecked guys who went against me and helped those who stayed true. He put his hand on the glass. And yet, seeing you fight for your small shop with more fire than I've felt for anything in years, it made me think about what I've turned into. The who has power thing between them shook. Ethan, who always won in work and life, seemed a bit lost for a second. Sophia, who came into this as a give-up, felt a surprise boost of sureness. If I'm here to hang out, she said, stepping nearer. Then let's make rules clear. Ethan's eyes got darker. I never go over lines without being asked. Sophia, the way he said her name, like he was trying it, sent a warm feeling through her without wanting it. Then know this, she said soft, close enough to feel his breath. I came to save my dad, but I won't lose who I am. He reached out, not sure, touching a bit of her hair that fell on her face. What if you find who you are? In that buzzy second, both got that the real danger wasn't the owed money or their setup. It was the risky, can't deny link growing between them. A link neither expected and neither knew how to handle. A knock on the door broke the magic. Ethan stepped back, fixing his hair with his hand. That must be food. Sophia watched as he opened the door, talking quiet with workers who pushed in a covered food cart. The smell of yummy fancy food filled the room, taking her mind off the strong talk for a bit. I hope you like food from Italy, Ethan said as the workers left. The cook here learned in a far place for 15 years. My know-how with Italian food is mostly pizza to go, Sophia said, trying to make it lighter. Ethan really smiled. A real one that changed his face. Then get ready to learn. Miss Carter, he led her to the eating table, pulling her chair out like a nice guy. As he took off the covers from plates, showing pretty pasta and sea stuff, Sophia looked at him. In another world. One where he wasn't her dad's money guy, and she wasn't like his kept person. Would she like this tricky, mixed-up guy? One night, Ethan said soft, pouring bubbly water in her glass. Just food and talk. That's all for tonight, and tomorrow. Sophia asked brave. His eyes met hers over the table, strong and hard to read. Tomorrow we talk new deal. As they started eating, Sophia felt herself chill out even with everything. The food was amazing, and Ethan was fun to talk with, knowing about art in a way that surprised her. He asked smart questions about her shop, her artists, her ideas, and really hurt her. Why did you really say yes to forget my dad's owed money? Sophia asked as they finished eating. The real reason this time? Ethan put down his fork, thinking for a long time. Because in a world where everything and everyone costs something, I wanted to meet someone who cares about more than cash. His voice got lower. Someone who might show me what that feels like. The soft spot in what he said surprised Sophia. She thought he'd trick, charm, even scare, but not be real. Not this tricky guy who seemed both strong and lost. As the night got later and city lights twinkled below, Sophia watched him go to the phone for sweet stuff, his strong body like a shadow against the sky. She wondered what she got into, and why her heart was beating fast with something not fear, something that felt risky like excitement. Weeks went by super fast. What started as one night of talking had turned into something neither Sophia nor Ethan could guess. Their setup, at first so businesslike, had changed into real friendship. Meals at special places, private looks at museums after close, weekends at his beach house where they walked the sand in nice quiet. Sophia's dad, with owed money gone, had started fixing his work with a small loan Ethan set up. No tricks. Her little shop was now getting looks from big reviewers and buyers, though Ethan said he didn't help. Good stuff finds people in time, he'd said when she asked him. I just made it faster. But on this cloudy Tuesday morning, Sophia faced something no time could ready her for. She sat on the side of her tub, looking at the plastic stick in her shaky hands. 2 pink lines. Clear as day, no doubt. This can't be real, she said soft to her empty home. She shut her eyes. Memories coming back. They had been careful mostly, except for that night at his lake place when a big storm cut the lights, and they'd found ways to stay warm. Lightning lit his face over hers in beats, his eyes always on hers as they moved as one. And maybe the weekend in his own plane coming back from a city, when bubbly drink made them less careful and more wanting. The soft shakes of the plane matched her body shaking against his. Sophia's phone buzzed with Ethan's everyday message. Food at a nice spot. 8 p.m. Her tummy flipped at thinking of eating. Sick in the morning. Right name had been with her all week. She thought it was worry. Changing weather. Anything but the truth now shown in her hands. I need to see you, she wrote back. Not at a eating place. Somewhere alone. His answer came quick. My place, 6 p.m. All good? Sophia didn't reply. How could she say their worlds, circling each other these weeks, were gonna crash? She threw the test in the trash, then changed mind and wrapped it in soft paper, putting it in her bag. Proof. Real thing. In the shower, hot water falling over her, Sophia tried to sort her feelings. Scared. For sure, mixed up, yes, but under that, something else moved. A small bit of amazement. A new life growing in her. A wonder in the mess. As she put on a simple blue dress that made her eyes pop, Sophia saw herself in the mirror. She didn't look changed. But everything was, how would Ethan act? The guy who thinks about risks for work, who plans every work move way ahead. How would he handle this most not planned thing? The day went by in a blur. Sophia called off her shop meetings, saying sick, which wasn't all lie. She walked through a big park, seeing kids play, moms pushing baby carts, families eating on grass. These normal sights now meant more. Could she see herself there? Could she picture Ethan, strong, bossy, scary Ethan, pushing a swing or cleaning sticky stuff from a small face? By 5:30, her nerves were shot. She got a cab to Ethan's building on a fancy side, practicing words that all sounded bad. Good evening, Miss Carter, the door guy said with a nice nod. In the weeks she'd been going to Ethan's, she'd become known to the workers. Mr. Kingsley waits for you. The special elevator took her up, her tummy dropping not from going up, but from waiting. When the doors opened right into the top entrance, Ethan was there. He wore easy clothes, not usual. Dark pants and a light blue shirt with sleeves up showing strong arms. You look pale, were his first words as she stepped out. Worry showed on his face as he led her to the couch. What's up? Are you sick? His hand on her back felt warm, helpful. How had this guy who once scared her become someone who made her feel safe? "Can I get you stuff? Water, tea?" Ethan's forehead wrinkled with care. "You've said almost nothing." Sophia had practiced this a bunch in the cab. She'd made talks, reasons, even sorries. But seeing Ethan's real worry, all her words went away. "I'm having a baby," she said plain. The quiet after seemed forever. Ethan's face went through shock, not believing, and something Sophia couldn't name. He got up from the couch, walking to the windows where he stood still, back to her, like a shadow against the early night sky. Sophia's heart beat hard. "Say something, please." When Ethan turned, his eyes had surprise wet in them. "How sure are you?" "3 tests, all yes." She reached in her bag, hand a bit shaky, and took out the wrapped test. This was this morning. Ethan took it careful, like a special old thing. He opened it slow, looking at the 2 pink lines with a look of amazement. "When did you start thinking?" "I've felt bad for a week, dizzy, hate smells." Sophia twisted her hands. "I'm late. I've never been late." He nodded slow, thinking. Then, to Sophia's surprise, a smile started on his lips, small at first, then big and real. "A baby," he said, the words sounding new and great. "Our baby." Sophia had thought anger, maybe blame, even cold thinking of choices. What she didn't think was happiness. "You're glad about this?" she asked, careful. Ethan came back to the couch, taking her hands. "Sophia, do you know what it's like to have all you can buy, but nothing that counts? To make a big company that feels empty?" His voice got rough. "I'm 43. I've made buildings, companies, money, but never a family. Never. Something that lasts real." His real words knocked her off guard. "But we hardly know each other." This wasn't planned. The best stuff hardly is. Ethan's finger made circles on her hand. "My parents had a long marriage for show. Every bit planned, controlled. No love." His eyes met hers. "I'd pick a not-planned start with real feels over perfect empty." Sophia felt tears coming. "I'm scared." "Ethan, this changes all." "Yes," he said, pulling her soft into his arms. "For the good." As her head lay on his chest, Sophia heard his steady heart. Weeks ago, this guy had been a scary name on papers threatening her dad. Now he gave comfort, steady, even joy. "What about your life? Your ideas?" she asked. "You never seemed like you wanted kids." Ethan was quiet a bit. "I never thought I did," he said, "but that was before you." He moved to look in her eyes. "You've changed me." "Sophia." "Woke up parts I thought gone. I don't want you to feel stuck," she said soft. "This is my job too." "Stuck?" Ethan said again, voice soft with not believing. "Sophia, do you know my kid days? Lots of sitters and far schools. Parents who saw me as next in line. Not a kid. Cold thinking instead of hugs." His hand went to her flat tummy. "This kid will know love. Real love. The kind I missed." The strong feeling in his voice made new tears for Sophia. "What will folks say?" "The talk papers, your work friends, Ethan's." Laugh was soft. "Let them chat. I've spent years caring about what people think. It's tiring." His fingers wiped her tears. Maybe fate was just getting what was mine. "What do you mean?" He pulled back a bit, face thinking. "The night your dad missed his last payday, I was gonna forget the owed money all. My money helpers thought I was nuts. But something said I'd get more by being nice than breaking another bad business." His eyes looked far with memory. "Then I saw your dad's name on the good cause party list. And something said go face him." His fingers, soft, wiped a tear from her face. "I think now I know why." In that second, Sophia saw something deep, that maybe their meeting, made from money worry, had set up for something neither could plan or buy. Something real. "I should tell my dad," she said soft. "We'll tell him as a team." Ethan said, "He should know he'll be a grandpa." Sophia's eyes got big. "You're not worried he'll think this was your trick to use his daughter?" Ethan's face got serious. "Sophia, when you offered yourself that night at the party, do you know what I really wanted?" She shook her head. A shot to know the lady brave enough to face me. His smile was dry. The rest, the link between us, that was never planned by either of us. What happens now? She asked. First, we get you to a doctor. The best baby doctor in the city. Ethan's handy side came back, but now with softness. Then we figure the rest as a team. You make it sound easy. The setup is tricky. Our way ahead doesn't have to be. Ethan's hand went protective, with care over her tummy. Now, Sophia Carter, we start the biggest talk of our lives. His smile was soft, his eyes sure. And this time, we both come out ahead. As evening shadows got longer across the top home, they ordered food and soup and crackers that Sophia felt she could eat and sat close on his balcony, watching city lights come out. They talked about doctors and baby come days, room colors for baby and name ideas. They argued about where to live and how to parent. They laughed about late-night wants and making top homes safe for baby. Move in with me, Ethan said sudden. Not 'cause you gotta, 'cause I want you here. 'Cause I rest better when you're next to me. Sophia looked at him surprised. You sure? That's a big move, Sophia. We're having a kid together. I'd say we've jumped some moves already. His smile was soft. I know it hasn't been long, but sometimes life doesn't go by normal times. Like when a worried daughter gives herself to save her dad from money mess. Sophia's voice was light, but her eyes looked into his. Like when a mean business guy finds his heart isn't as hard as he thought. Ethan said back, taking her hand. Later that night, as they lay together in his huge bed, Sophia's head on his chest and his hand protective over her middle, she felt a surprise calm come over her. The paper that brought them together was long forgot, replaced by a new deal, not written, but way stronger, as two unlikely folks faced a surprise future, together. I never thought fate was real, Ethan said soft into the dark. I thought in making stuff happen by strong will and smart plans. And now? Sophia asked, her voice sleepy with happy. His lips pressed on her head. Now, I think some stuff is written in a deal even I couldn't make, and I'm thankful for it. Outside, the city that never rests kept its fast speed. Inside, in the quiet night, new dreams were forming. Dreams neither dared to think just 6 weeks before. 3 months after Sophia's big news, the word had spread fast through the city's fancy groups. Ethan Kingsley, the city's top single guy, the mean boss of work, was not only going to be a dad, but planning a wedding. The guessing was nonstop. Was it a quick thing? A smart work move? A real love thing? Only Sophia and Ethan knew the truth, that what started in worry had grown into something neither looked for, but both now loved. Are you totally sure about this? James Carter asked his daughter as they stood in the wedding room of the Kingsley land. The big place by the beach had been changed for the day. White flowers falling from every spot. Shiny hanging lights from silk covers set on the grass looking at the ocean. Sophia turned from the big mirror, her special dress, a wonder of nice lace and tiny beads, catching the late day light. At 4 months with baby, her shape was just showing, a soft curve under the smart-made dress. More sure than anything ever, she said, fixing her head cover. James shook his head amazed. When I think how this all started that night at the party, I never thought it'd lead here. Me neither, Sophia said with a soft laugh. Life has a weird way of turning out. A knock at the door stopped them. Sophia's best friend, Mia, her longest buddy, and the only one who backed her all the way through this fast love, looked in. It's time, she said, her eyes big at seeing Sophia. Oh, wow. You're totally amazing. Sophia took a deep breath, suddenly knowing how far she'd come from that scared lady who gave herself as backup for her dad's owed money. She had stepped into Ethan's world, ready to give up, only to find herself, and in doing that, she had found deep parts in him that maybe even he didn't know. Let's not make him wait, she said, taking her dad's arm. The wedding spot took Sophia's breath. 100 people filled white chairs on the grass. but as she started walking down the flower path, she only saw the guy waiting at the front. Ethan stood tall and in charge in his special suit, but it was his face that grabbed Sophia's heart. Wonder, joy, and something like being humble. Cameras flashed from good spots. The wedding was covered special with a fancy mag, but neither new married noticed. As Sophia got to Ethan's side, and her dad put her hand in his, the world got small to just them. "You are the prettiest thing I've ever seen," Ethan said soft, voice rough with feeling. The leader started the wedding, but Sophia hardly heard the known words. Her mind went to times that brought them here. Tense talks in his top home, quiet chats over light dinners, the first baby picture where they'd seen their baby's heart beating like a small star, Ethan's surprise ask on a normal Tuesday morning as they ate breakfast. "I thought I needed some big event," he had said, dropping to knee by their kitchen table. "But I don't want to wait one more day to ask you to be my wife." Now, as they said, promises under a cover of white flowers. Sophia saw tears in Ethan's eyes. This guy, who once scared the work world, now opened soft before all who counted in his life. "Ethan, take you, Sophia. Not as pay or a trade, but as my teammate, my same, my heart," he said, changing from the usual words they'd practiced. His voice went across the quiet group. "You showed me the best stuff in life. Can't be bought or sold. They can only be given. Free." Sophia's own promises stuck in her throat as feeling hit her. Sophia. "Take you, Ethan, not 'cause I have to, but 'cause I pick. A pick I make happy every day. You've taught me sometimes our best strong points come from our most worried times." When the leaders said they were married, Ethan's kiss was soft but owning, a promise and a take all at once. The guests clapped loud, but the new married stayed lost in their world a bit more. "Mrs. Kingsley," Ethan said soft against her lips, "that's gonna take getting used to. We have all life for that," he said. The party after was fancy and nice, showing what can be done with lots of money and great taste. Music groups played as bubbly flowed, sparkly no booze for the new wife, and the city's big names mixed with artists from Sophia's shop and bosses from Ethan's work. "They're all thinking if I caught you," Sophia said as they danced slow together for first time, Ethan's hand protective on her back. "Let them think," he said, not worried. "We know the real." "And what is the real?" "Mr. Kingsley," she joked, his eyes got serious, "that you saved me from empty life, that you gave meaning to all this." He pointed small to the fancy around them. "Without you, it was just things." As the night went on, Sophia saw Ethan with new eyes. He moved through people with his usual boss way, but there was new softness, shown in how he checked on her a lot, brought water without ask, kept her from pushy guests. This strong guy who built a big company by pure push was now using that same push to care for her and their not-born kid. Near midnight, as the fun kept under stars, Ethan led Sophia away from people to a hidden spot looking at the moon ocean. "Happy?" he asked, putting his jacket on her to block night cold. "More than I ever thought." She leaned into him. "If someone said 6 months ago I'd be here married to Ethan Kingsley, carrying his kid, you'd think they were crazy." Ethan finished with a laugh. "Something like that." Sophia turned in his arms to face him. "When did you know this was real? I mean, not just a setup." Ethan thought a bit. "The night you faced me about that artist you wanted to show. The one with issues I thought would hurt the shop's name," Sophia remembered. They'd had their first real fight a month into being together. She'd not backed down, even knowing he paid for the shop. "You were great," Ethan went on. "Full of fire, clear words, and not scared by me. I'd rather lose the fight to you than win against anyone." His finger traced her face. "What about you?" "The day you went to my dad in the hospital after his small fix," Sophia said quick. "You didn't have to. Our setup. Didn't need it, but you came, with doctor names and made sure best care." She swallowed. "That's when I knew you. We're more than the cold business guy everyone scared of." The far sound of music and laughs came on the ocean. Wind inside the party. Cameras caught the event that would be in fancy pages for weeks. But here, in this alone time, was the center of what they'd made. A link made in weird ways. but made strong into something real and tough. The kiss at the wedding locked not just a deal, but a happy give-up, Ethan said soft. The guy who never thought in anything I couldn't boss. I'm giving up to this, to us. Sophia's hand found his, putting it to rest over the soft grow of their kid, and I, who came to your world from worry, am staying by pick. Above them, stars spread across dark sky like shiny stones on black soft stuff. Below, waves said soft against shore an old never-end beat. And between these always things, two folks who found each other through most unlikely stuff stood hugging, seeing the cool truth that sometimes the nicest starts come from the most worried spots. The Kingsley Top home, once a show of simple fancy, had changed as big as its owner. The smooth new space now had a baby room painted in soft sea color. Its top, a wonder of hand-done clouds and stars. Stuffed toys sat on shelves that once had rare art, and baby books stood next to money papers. Sophia walked slow, no other word, at 8 months with baby, into the home workroom where Ethan was doing a video talk. She stopped at door, not wanting to bother, but he saw her right away. Guys, my wife is here. We'll keep this tomorrow, he said without wait, closing his computer even with complaints from the bosses on screen. You didn't need to stop, Sophia said, sitting careful on the soft couch. Ethan came to her side, helping fix pillows behind her. Nothing is bigger. How was the doctor visit? All perfect. She's in place right on time. Sophia smiled, rubbing her big tummy. They'd learned months ago they were having a girl. A news that left the strong Ethan Kingsley without words from feeling. She's gonna be stubborn like her mom, Ethan said, putting his hand by Sophia's. With her dad's deal-making skills, Sophia said back, Oh boy, help us. Their easy talk was stopped by a move flutter under their hands. Ethan's face brightened, with the same amazement it showed every time he felt their daughter move. This guy who did billion money deals now found biggest joy in these small times. The baby room's done, Sophia said. I okayed the last bits this morning. I want to see it, Ethan said, helping her up. They walked together down the hall that once showed new art worth lots, but now had framed baby pics and wedding photos. The change of the space matched the change in Ethan himself, from cold perfect to warm real. The baby room door was open, showing the end of months planning. Ethan stopped at the start, taking in every bit, the handmade baby bed, a gift from Sophia's dad, who had gone back to being a great woodworker. The rocking chair set just right by the window looking at Big Park. The bookshelf full of old good books Sophia said their daughter needed. It's perfect, he said soft, voice full of feeling. Sophia watched him, still sometimes shocked by the guy Ethan had become. Or maybe always was, under the shield of money and power, the mean business guy who once made fear in meeting rooms now spent nights reading parent books and putting together baby stuff with strong focus. I never thought I'd have this, Ethan said, turning to her. A real family, me neither, Sophia said, especially not with the guy who once held my dad's money future in his hands. Ethan's laugh was soft and poking fun at himself. Life has a weird, funny side. A sharp hurt shot through Sophia's lower back. She gasped, holding the doorframe for help. Sophia. Ethan was quick alert, arm around her middle. What is it? Just fake pains, I think, she said after hurt gone. Doctor said they might get more as we near. But something in her face must have shown not sure, 'cause Ethan was already grabbing his phone. I'm calling the doctor anyway. Always the too protective dad, Sophia joked, though she didn't mind. When it comes to you and our daughter. I don't sorry for being careful, Ethan said, voice light, but eyes serious as he talked quiet into phone. Sophia felt another hurt, stronger. She checked her watch. Counting time. The doctor warned about wrong alarms, but this felt different. Ethan. She cut into his talk. I think we need hospital now. His face changed fast. Years of handling bad times starting. With great calm, he spoke short into phone. Then called his driver while getting the ready hospital bag they'd made weeks ago. Everything's gonna be okay, he said sure, voice steady even with fear flash in eyes. I've got you, both. And hours later, tired but glowing, Sophia held their daughter in arms. Lily Rose Kingsley had come into world with a strong cry and full dark hair, just like her dad, the helpers said. Ethan sat on bed edge, looking at his wife and daughter with open amazement. The guy who built a big company through smart risks and mean push now found himself totally changed by 7 pounds of new life. "She's perfect," he said, soft, gentle, touching Lily's tiny fingers. "You're perfect." Sophia smiled, tired. "Not quite the Kingsley join you once did. The most important one of my life," Ethan said back, leaning to kiss her head. "Thank you." The simple of those words held lots. Thanks not just for daughter, but for the trip that brought them. For the brave of a worried lady who gave herself to save Dad. For the surprise human in a guy everyone thought no real feels. A soft knock at door stopped the time. James Carter looked in, eyes filling with tears at sight of his grandkid. "Come meet Lily," Sophia invited. As James came careful, Ethan stood and did something unthinkable a year ago. He hugged the guy who once owed him. "Congrats, Grandpa," Ethan said, voice warm with real like. James looked from Ethan to Sophia to baby and not believing. "When I think how this all started. Some owed lead to surprise treasures," Ethan said, going back to Sophia's side. "Over next hours, visitors came and went. Mia with flowers and bubbly for. Later, Ethan's work team with a special-made silver toy. Artists from Sophia's shop with a group made art for babies. Ruma, each visitor showed a bit of the life Sophia and Ethan built together, a life neither thought possible that night at party, when a worried offer changed all. As evening came and hospital got quiet, they were alone again. Lily slept peaceful in clear baby bed by Sophia's bed, tiny chest up and down in perfect beat. Ethan pulled a chair close, not wanting to leave even a bit. "I never thought in love at first look," he said, watching daughter sleep. "But I was wrong. About Lily or me?" Sophia asked with smile. "Ethan thought both in ways. With you, it wasn't love at first. It was knowing. Something in you called to something in me I didn't know was there." Sophia reached for his hand. "And now I know why I built all I did," Ethan said simple. "Not for me, but for this, for her, for you, for us." His finger made circles on Sophia's hand. "Big company finally has a reason." Sophia thought about the trip that brought them, from that first worried night, in his top home to this hospital, room where future lay sleeping. "When you asked, for my dad's ode, did you ever think this end?" Ethan's laugh was soft. "I thought money talks. Not full change of my life." His face got serious, but I wouldn't switch one bit. Outside window, city lights shiny against night sky. Inside, soft light from lamp showed 3 folks who found each other through most unlikely stuff. "Do you remember what you said that night when I told you about baby?" Sophia asked. Ethan nodded. "That maybe fate was getting what was mine." "I think you were right," Sophia said soft, watching daughter's peaceful face. "Some owed make the nicest ties." As Lily moved a bit in sleep, tiny fingers moving like reaching in dreams, Ethan leaned to put soft kiss on her head. "The best put-in I've ever done," he said soft. And in that quiet time, as night covered the city outside, they got that what started as a trade had changed into the rarest treasure. A family made not on have to, but on love given free and taken happy. Years later, the Kingsley Art Place's big open was the top event of time. What started as Sophia's small art spot in a changing area had grown into a 3-floor show in a cool spot, showing works from known pros and new talents that Sophia kept finding with her great eye for skill. "Mommy, can I have another cookie?" Lily Rose Kingsley, now 5 and looking just like her dad with her mom's art spirit, pulled at Sophia's dress, a great make from a new designer Sophia backed. "Just one more, sweetie," Sophia said, fixing her daughter's dark curls. "Then you gotta practice your hello for special guests. Remember?" Lily nodded serious, taking the job with same serious her dad brought to meetings. "I remember. Welcome to our art place. Thanks for helping arts. Perfect." Sophia said good, watching as Lily picked careful a cookie from a worker's tray before going back to her grandpa, who was telling her stories in a quiet spot. The tie between James Carter and Ethan Kingsley had grown into something neither guy could guess. The ode that once was between had been switched by same respect and real. Like James now ran a help group Ethan made to aid small work. Owners in money trouble. A good job for a guy who knew both hard times and comeback. Quite a crowd, said Mia, coming to Sophia's side with 2 glasses of bubbly. Every big reviewer and buyer in city is here. She gave 1 glass to Sophia. You did it, Sophia. You really did. Sophia took a sip, looking at full art place with pride. The space buzzed with talk, as city's fancy mixed with artists whose work might never been found without her spot. Not alone, Sophia said, her eyes finding Ethan across room. He stood tall in perfect suit, talking with museum boss from Big One, but his look often found Sophia and Lily, like needing to check they're there. Years married had only made deeper their link. The fire that surprised them both that first night had grown into something richer and more mixed. Team that balanced Ethan's smart plans with Sophia's art ideas. Together, they built something neither could do solo. Your hubby still looks at you like you put up the moon, Mia said, following Sophia's look. And I still catch breath sometimes when he comes in a room, Sophia said with smile. Not bad for a tie that started with work trade. The sound thing made a soft noise, saying start of night's plan. Ethan moved to middle of main art space, easy getting eyes of all guests. Welcome to open of Kingsley Art Place, he started, voice going without try. Some of you may recall its old one, a small but smart spot called Carter Arts. Nice laughs went through crowd. Many there had seen Sophia's trip from hard art owner to liked art world star. What you may not know, Ethan went on, is that if not for money trouble, a good cause party, and the bravest lady I've met, none would be here tonight. Sophia felt face warm as heads turned her way. Ethan hardly talked open about how they met, liking to keep details of weird start private. In years ago, I was a very different guy, Ethan said, his look finding Sophia across room. I measured worth in bucks and stuff. I saw people as notes in a book. Either make money or throw away. He stopped, letting reel of words hit. Then I met a lady who showed me the best stuff in life can't be bought, sold or counted. Lily, feeling her time, ran from Grandpa and across to Dad. Ethan picked her up without stop, setting her comfy on his side as he kept talking. Sophia Carter stepped into my life and taught me true rich isn't in bank. But in times like these, he pointed to art place around, to Lily in arms, to Sophia watching with shiny eyes, in dreams done, in skill seen, in love given free. Sophia went toward them, pulled by the pull of time, and the guy who changed her life as much as she his. As she got to Ethan's side, he held out hand to her, making their family circle full. The Kingsley Art Place stands for more than art, Ethan told the hooked crowd. It shows change of places, of jobs, of lives. His voice got softer, of one special life that I am thankful every day to share. The crowd clapped as Ethan leaned to kiss Sophia short but soft. Lily, not left out, put arms around both parents' necks, making a picture that made more than few wet eyes in guests. Now, Ethan said, his work self coming back, I'll give the spot to the real dreamer behind this place, my wife, Sophia Kingsley. As Sophia stepped up to talk about her ideas for Art Place, Ethan moved aside with Lily still in arms, his pride clear in every bit of face. This guy who once ruled his company with cold exact, now found biggest joy in backing dreams of the lady who taught him to feel, and the kid who taught him to play. Hours later, after last guest left and even food workers gone, the Kingsley family stayed in empty Art Place. Lily had fallen asleep on soft seat in statue garden. Small body curled around stuffed elephant. She still wanted everywhere, even if worn. Should we wake her? Sophia asked, looking at sleeping daughter with softness. Ethan shook head, careful lifting Lily into arms. I've got her. She's had big night. As they got ready to go, Ethan stopped before one painting, a cool canvas that had honor spot on main wall. The artist unknown to most, but piece was Ethan's own pick for Art Place's Always collection. The painting showed a lady in green dress standing at edge of balcony, her face turned away from looker, but body showing both soft spot and strong. Behind her a shadow guy, hand out, either giving or asking. The view made it hard to tell. "Still your fave?" Sophia asked, putting arm around his middle. "It catches everything," Ethan said simple. That time of choice, that night that changed all. The painting had been ordered secret by Ethan for their third-year day, his way of saying yes to weird start that led to great life together. "Do you ever wish different?" Sophia asked sudden that night the offer I made. Ethan looked down at her. Surprise clear. "Wish different the best thing ever to me. It wasn't normal start," Sophia pointed out. "Normal is 2 rated, Ethan said, moving Lily soft in arms as she said in sleep. "Besides, best puts often look risky first look." Sophia smiled at business guy's word. Some things about Ethan never change, nor she want them to. As they left Art Place, a car waiting to take home, Ethan stopped a bit on walk. The street quiet at late hour, city's usual busy temp calm. Above, stars tried to show against city light, few strong points breaking through. "Do you remember what you said that night at party?" Ethan asked. "To pay off my dad's ode, take me in place." Sophia nodded, memory still clear even with years gone. "I thought I was taking backup." Ethan went on, voice soft in night. "Instead, I got the gift that made all else in life mean something." Sophia reached to touch his face. This guy who once was her dad's. Scary money asker and now center of her world, and I thought I was giving up myself when really I was finding my way home. Ethan's arm got tighter around her as they stood on walk, sleeping daughter between. A family made from worry, but kept by something way stronger. "The ode has been paid lots over," Ethan said soft, pressing kiss to Sophia's side head, with the nicest extra imaginable. Sophia agreed, heart full as she looked at daughter. Together, they got in waiting car that would take them home. Not to a top home that once was Ethan's alone spot, but to the fixed house they did together, filling rooms with art and songs and laughs, a home where a little girl with moms create and dad's push was growing up around love that started in most unlikely stuff. As car pulled from Art Place that stood as proof to dreams done and possibles real, Sophia rested head on Ethan's shoulder. What started as worried, deal had grown into most worth deal of all, a promise not written on paper but marked on hearts. Deal knew each day in life they built. Together, best deal I ever did, Ethan said soft. Words a soft good in quiet car, and Sophia, thinking of all they gained from what might lost, could only agree. From a worried offer at good cause party to making family and lasting, Sophia and Ethan's story tells us sometimes nicest starts come from hardest spots. Their trip from trade to change shows how true link can break even most careful made walls, showing real selves we hide from world. In Ethan, we see real power not in boss but in soft spot, in brave to open to possible and change. In Sophia, we see strong from standing firm in values even facing scary chances. Together they found most worth monies, not in bucks, but in times of link. In dreams shared, in love legacy to next kids. Their story proved to surprise paths life takes when brave enough to risk all for what really counts. In end, what started as cost of love showed to be love's huge worth. The return on put-in that keeps growing each day, making lives rich in ways no money list ever could.